And to shed more light on the event, we are delighted to have joining us over the phone Taghreed Hussien, the president of Nile TV International. Good afternoon, Taghreed.
Good afternoon to you, Yasmin, and it's a glory day for Egypt, so I'm really happy that we are talking on that great event that is watched worldwide.
Absolutely, and because Nile TV International is very special in its exclusive coverage, because of course it's only English and French speaking channel, tell us about the preparations that this channel has and how important is this event worldwide today?
Yasmin, Egypt's Nile TV International, the voice of Egypt to the whole world, is always honored to follow on Egypt's glory and Egypt's history. And this is what we are really broadcasting. Since the early morning, we've been broadcasting more about the clues concerning the golden royal mummies parade that is going to be dazzling the whole world and would show the greatness of our country. We had an exclusive with Dr. Zahi Hawass, who told us more clues also about the story and narrated this story of success for Egypt with pride. As you know, Yasmin, that Nile TV International had produced a special documentary on King Tut treasures that is going to coincide with the airing of the Royal Mummies Parade. This in addition to special promos and also more concerning infograph and information on the royal mummies that are going to be transported to their final destination at the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization. There is also the Meet the Royal Mummies on the Nile program that depicts more concerning their transportation on 22 vehicles shaped like the pharaonic boats that had always transported the royal deceased to eternity. And also narrating stories, we have more than one source telling us about the decorations with the pharaonic scenes and the motorcade that will be led by ancient Egyptian-shaped horse-drawn chariots. And upon the arrival, the mummies will be welcomed with the full military honors befitting their royalty. So Nile TV International is in the heart of events. We are following live and bringing to the whole world tonight at 6:30, just after sunset, how the ancient Egyptian royal mummies, we will be seeing them not crossing the Nile from east to west to be buried in their tombs for all eternity, as they did in the ancient Egyptian processions, when they were usually accompanied by the prayers from the Book of the Dead and their processions and funeral music. But rather, Nile TV will be bringing live how the royal mummies are going to be going through the streets of Cairo in a golden parade along Cairo's Nile Corniche from the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square to their final destination at the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization, which is overlooking the Ain Sira Lake in Fustat. So it is a festive mood in Egypt. More than 400 international satellite channels are covering, along with Nile TV International, that great event. We've all seen Tahrir Square illuminated, the soaring obelisk and the four ram-headed sphinx are going to be unveiled as part of the square's conversion into an open-air museum tonight, hosting an open-air pharaonic exhibit and a historic pathway that the public can really view and functioning as a real extension of the Egyptian Museum. So this is history-making in Egypt. Egypt is dazzling the world today, and Egypt is making history, Yasmin.
Yes, and Taghreed, now since you've been running the channel, a lot of changes have been taking place, and there's a clear identity now to the channel in promoting Egypt on various levels, especially tourism and the developmental projects. How do you see that very well along the lines of the development that the president had mentioned a number of times on, especially towards the sustainable development agenda of 2030 and the importance for the whole world to know through an English and French speaking channel what's really happening and developing in Egypt?
It is, Yasmin. Our channel's role is very important as we are the voice of Egypt to the world. We are narrating the story of success in Egypt today under the leadership of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, how Egypt today has transformed, how we can see a change in all the spheres of life, namely the developmental projects in the field of infrastructure, in the field of telecommunications. See this incident that is going to be recorded in history for the first time ever. You are going to see this spectacle which is attracting the world attention today. So this is the role of Nile TV International, is that the whole world should know what is happening on solid grounds in Egypt today, the developmental projects, as you have mentioned, the bright face of Egypt, how Egypt is changing. In every corner today, you are going to find in Egypt a success story. Today, it's a great success story, Yasmin, and today also the way NIMC, or the National Museum which is going to be exhibiting, you're going to see yourself how they selected the colors even of the mummy's hall that is going to be in reception of our great ancestors, of the royals. And the Ministry of Antiquities advisors has spoken to Nile TV International and said that the mummies would not be exhibited as they were in Tahrir Square, but rather it's a new display that is created to acquaint visitors with the mummification process and its importance to the ancient Egyptians. So this will be including also panels about first and second caches of mummies, along with the pics of the different pharaohs. So the history of each king and queen is going to be on show beside his or her mummy, and as well as also results of the DNA tests, the diseases the mummy had suffered during lifetime. So what a history-making event, and what a glorious event for Egypt under the leadership of President Sisi today.
Thank you very much. That was Nile TV's President, Taghreed Hussien. Thank you very much for joining us on the Panorama edition of this afternoon. And moving forward, and still